Hi guys, and welcome back to Pass and Move. And for today's episode, we do have the Roma game as promised. Napoli, Noisy Napoli, of course, our series name, and we're hoping to keep up the noise here and keep up, at least to get a win and a nice 3 points here against Roma. Tough opposition, of course. Actually, I don't think they are our rivals, but no, they are. Okay, there you go. So at least it's a tough game in all senses. But yeah, if we win today, we get the 3 points, which can send us up to 7th, and of course put some good pressure on up to Lazio, who are third on 29 points. So we can get pretty close to them, and we can still, be in the shout for a Champions League spot. Maybe we're a little bit out of depth in terms of a league title challenge, but we can still make the Champions League spots and hope the board become more satisfied with us. In terms of what happened since the last episode, some good news. We showed you that game against Juventus. We beat Club Brugge 2-0, but then we managed to lose 3-1 to Palermo. A disappointing result where we were completely outplayed, regardless of which tactic we tried to go with. Susolo was a disappointing draw. I think was that the first time we played them this season? Yeah, it was. For some reason I thought we played them before. But yeah, just a disappointing draw at home. We should have been beating them really, but considering that they opened the scoring first, Mertens managed to get us a goal to at least steal a point. But the more impressive performance was probably against PSG. A 2-0 win helped us knock PSG out of the competition and get into the Champions League spots ourselves with Dynamo Kiev. And now we have a draw against Barcelona, of all teams, in the first knockout round. We have reached our expectations though, which is the first knockout round, of course. So, any type of result against Barcelona will be okay because we've met expectations there. Of course, if we perform well in the Champions League, then at least maybe we can make up for the disappointments in the Serie A, which of course, as you can see, board confidence is very low in. Of course, if we do well in the Italian Cup as well, like win it, because any other stage won't really matter to the board. But if we reach the final or possibly even win it, then maybe we can get away with what we're doing in the league at the moment. But yeah, after that was a 1-0 away from home result against Chievo. Sorry about that. And Pavlotti scored in the 89th minute to give us the result we were dying to get all game long, and thankfully that's another 3 points on the table out of a possible 9. We got 4, so that's still disappointing, but at least our form seems to be improved since here in comparison to this little bit of fixtures here. So we seem to be doing better again, and of course it doesn't mean because we switched up our tactics and found a winning result that we'll always win every game that we come up against. It's just that we'll be doing fairly better, and hopefully we can keep that up today. So I think that's everything really. I think we can get into today's game. We're going to be starting off with the counter. I don't expect us to necessarily be favourites, and I feel like we can move on from there into a more attacking formation. We just need to start from the counter, judge the game as it is, and then we can decide whether to move up or not. But yeah, we've stayed on the complete forward on support for it. We've still got an advanced playmaker Hamsik on attack. We've gotten rid of the retained possession tactic. I feel like that kind of makes my players hold on to the ball a bit too much for my liking. I think I'd just rather keep it lower tempo and a shorter passing to keep things as is. We've also still on structure, nothing new really, and that's kind of all the updates for today. And as you can tell, the team are starting to really get to know this tactic a lot better. Almost fluid in the 4-2-3-1s. Just a matter of adjusting to the formations themselves. So hopefully we can start to see a different turn in fortunes at least. We've got all these players on the bench as well. Tonelli is back from his injury. He's not registered for us in the Champions League though, and we'll try and get that done in January. But he's definitely an alternative to Vlad Chiriches, who's still injured. But yeah, in terms of the ability, Tonelli just edges him out, so we'll be looking to sell Vlad in January, and maybe we can invest that money elsewhere. Callejon and Insigne are both injured, but Callejon's back soon. Lorenzo is still out for 3 to 4 months with a damaged Achilles tendon. Not the perfect timing for it, but Mertens has stepped up really well. And that's the good thing about having 2 players who are leading players in the division, and that has served us well so far. So I think we can kick off today. We're at home, so that kind of gives us the edge. But of course, in football, anything can happen. But we will be hoping to beat our rivals here today in a very tough fixture. 3 points would really separate us from them as well, because they are level on points with us with the same number of games as well. But if we do beat them, we can give them their 7th defeat of the season and make them tumble down further the table. Apparently favourites according to the match odds from SportPesa and the match analysis with Christian Pozobon. He thinks that Roma are the favourites of today's game. I think that's fair enough as well. Alright, so they're playing a 4-2-3-1, more attacking than ourselves. It would make sense that if they feel like they're the favourites, then they would go for that formation. Apparently we're not favourites according to Team Talk as well. So I guess that kind of evens out. It's a bit weird that we were giving the odds for it anyways. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Let's go with good luck. And I'm actually going to quickly I'm not a fan of doing the opposition man marking. I feel like I like the ball-win midfielder on defend duty to man mark Nainggolan. I think it makes a bit more sense. He's the more defensive of the two, out of the deep line playmaker on support and the ball-win midfielder on defend. So we'll get him to man mark Nainggolan instead. Alright, so let's do that. And hopefully he doesn't have a good game for his team, because that would spell disaster for us. Anyways, kick-off. I'm not sure again, like I always say, whether these fans, if it's just people wearing blue shirts or if that's empty seats. That'll be disappointing. Hopefully they're blue dressed fans. But anyways, let's kick off, and Roma have already had a shot within 3 minutes time, so that's not too good considering we're playing on the counter, and we're playing a more defensive shape than Roma are. Just like the instruction or the mentality says, we're hoping to hit Roma rather on the counter. They have had 4 shots now, but thankfully none of them on target. We've had our single one just now, so hopefully we'll see a highlight soon. But yeah, I don't expect too much possession or too many shots or whatever, but I do hope that we're clinical enough today to make it count. But yeah, maybe soon enough we might actually switch up to a 4-2-3-1. I think we'll go into the defensive one first and then maybe switch up to the more attacking one just to see how things go. But so far nothing. I want us to create a bit more. I'm not too concerned about shots or possession, but creation is an issue. But there hasn't been anything from Roma's side either, so maybe we're doing okay. We were expected to lose, but considering we're struggling to get shots, as it says, actually we've improved now. And there's a highlight just before the first half, so whose team talk is going to change? Is it me? Or is it Roma's? Albiol on the ball, he's getting pressured, quickly gets rid of it. Ulam finds Zielinski, and our deep line playmaker finds Mertens, but he's kind of man marked out. Hamsik though does well to find Pavlotti. He holds the ball up well, which is exactly what we want him to do when he's on the counter. Mertens cuts in, Hamsik's on the ball once more. They're just playing bits of 1-2s I suppose, but Mertens cut inside now. Is he going to take a long range shot? Decent one, at least it's on target. And you can kind of expect more of that from a natural inside forward, forced to play as a winger. Pavlotti and Hamsik though not having the best of games, which is a bit weird. Hamsik should be excelling in this game because they're playing a 4-2-3-1. I think we're doing okay on the counter. I don't feel like there's a need to change it just yet. So maybe we can try and encourage our players to get some type of result here. Allen as a ball-winning midfielder, you'd expect him to be on a yellow, and he is. So hopefully he can continue without getting sent off. Allen does well. Speaking of, actually, he does well there. And that's the end of that highlight. So just about half the shots that Roma have had, but we've had more on target, which suggests that we're creating a bit more solid chances than they are. They're probably taking long-range shots and that sort of business. But maybe my striker and attacking midfielder, by the looks of it, need a bit more support than they're getting. So we'll switch into the 4-2-3-1 with the defensive midfielder. Supposed to make a substitution now, but no one's necessarily tired or needs to be taken off. So we'll just go into the 4-2-3-1 DM and hope that can spur on. Immediately, I think, at least I hope that was because of the change I made. But it looks like we've got a half chance and a bit more shots too. And it looks like this game is going to be edged out by just a single goal. Nyangolan's off at least for Roma, and Gerson's on. Perotti, Sharawi, I would assume that's Salah there. But either way, there's a highlight now, and Roma have got the ball. Are we going to counter them, or are they going to score from this chance? Florenzi finds Mohamed Salah, allowed to cut in fair too easily. And it's a kind of a similar shot to what Mertens had, but hopefully this highlight goes on and we can actually... Nope, apparently not. Alright, 70th minute here. No real changes just yet either. You know what, we'll take off Pavlotti for Milik. And that's kind of it. We've got pretty much got a full strength side there. There's no real need to change anyone. No one's performing poorly. Hamsik's having a quiet game, but maybe with a better striker on board, he can perform the goods for his teammate. You know, Pavlotti had a bit of a quiet game himself. But at least shots are going up for us, and it has gone up for Roma as well. But, you know, we still have a chance here. Hamsik does well to find Mertens. Back as an inside forward, he finds Milik. He's going to hold the ball up a little bit well here. Hamsik's on the ball, playing a bit too deep for my liking. But anyways, he finds Giaccherini quite well. Just has to beat his man and put a good cross in, but instead he goes back to Hamsik. Our advanced playmaker finds Mertens well, and Florenzi is getting sent off for Roma. And this is our chance to win this game. I have to just quickly double check that Allen isn't man marking anyone now. And I think, considering how it is, we can even go into the full-on 4-2-3-1. Because Roma, of course, like you can see here, immediately changed their shape and are playing defensive without doubt. So we need a result here. There's an immediate highlight. Milik finds Zielinski, who gives the ball away to Strootman immediately. And it looks like Roma are going to be punishing us straight away once we switch to a 4-2-3-1. Allen, that was risky, but he does well to win the ball, and Perotti's on the ball. Need to win that. Don't be an idiot, please. Gets by him quite easily. Finds Sharawi free, and he's going to punish us. Nope. Reina has other plans to that. And that was too dangerous for my liking. Kind of why I was hesitant to go into a 4-2-3-1. With, you know, we get caught out quite easily. But anyways, 75 minutes. 2 half chances for ourselves and 1 clear-cut chance for Roma. But nothing to be happy about just yet. Alright, so we have a couple of options here. Rog for Hamsik is a good one, I'd say. He hasn't really created anything of note, never really taken anyone on. Another thing we can do is take off the deep line playmaker. Allen's on a yellow, but we need someone to create something. And maybe Jorginho can do that from the bench. Come on, boys. Let's sneak by another 3 points just like in the last game. Score in the 89th minute. And this would be a great performance. They're a man down. There's no real excuse. But by the looks of it, they're going to take advantage of the being a man down, I suppose. Perotti in the ball. Players have stood off our opponents, really. But Bruno Perez is going to... Can we win that? Come on, put a tackle in, for God's sake. Oh, that's too easy. That is way too easy. That was... I think that was an own goal. It's going to be counted as his, but... I'm pretty sure that took a huge deflection, and that's just such poor defending. 1 man in the box and 3 defenders there. 1 on the person who's supposed to be crossing it, and yet he still manages to get free enough. Yeah, that's a huge deflection. I can't believe that happened. And how poor are my defenders? That's just disappointing on every level possible. This is not good by any means. They did not deserve this result. A draw would have been more fair, but it looks like we're not even going to get that at this point. I can't believe we're losing this game. They didn't even hit us on the counter. I wish they hit us on the counter. Then I can understand that. This does not make any sense. That's disappointing. completely. I think even aggressive is fair to that, considering look at that, now we're down to 10th after 17 games played, almost half the season gone, and the Napoli board are going to be going for my head soon enough. This save may be over quicker than I thought. That's great. Lost to another set of our rivals. Juventus was another one. Board request meeting to discuss manager's future, and that's a fair meeting, really. December, it's winter and they're asking to talk. That's fair enough. Valencia's board was just incredibly patient, but I don't expect every club to be like that. But anyways, in terms of when we'll be back, if we're back, we'll have a look. I mean, Pescara, AC Milan will be an interesting game, but I think we need to set ourselves a couple games time to really, you know, like just so we can move on from what happened there. By the looks of it, it might be a bit much, but maybe we'll be back in February with Cagliari. It would make more sense to show you a result in January, a match in January. We're going away for the winter break now, at least, so hope, you know, maybe the players can recover and come back from their rest quite fresh. But yeah, I would expect Cagliari, but maybe we'll be back before it and we'll see what happens. Maybe actually we should be probably, I think maybe some Sampdoria would make sense, and then we'll be back for the Barcelona game in February. That'll be an incredibly big one. But yeah, that's all for today's episode. So if you did enjoy it, and of course, please do hit the like button and subscribe for more daily Football Manager 2017 content. And as always, guys, thank you all very much for watching.